Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Reverend Angel Bill, if you don't know who I am. I have a great little story to tell you because I'm a storyteller. If you need tissues, there's some up here in the front. It's about a little boy. And this little boy is born into a family and has 3 sisters. He's the youngest of the family. But according to what happened on the block in the neighborhood, he was born at a time where he didn't fit in age-wise. He didn't have anyone to play with. The older kids played together, younger kids played together, but he was kind of in there and didn't fit. So one day, one of his sisters caught him playing and speaking to someone, and she said, "Who are you talking to?" He said, "I'm speaking to Jackie." He said, "Who's Jackie?" He says, "Right there, you can't see him? That's my friend, that's Jackie." Well, Jackie continued to be his playmate. Imaginary? Possibly. Maybe an angel? Who knows? But probably about 5-6 years later, a package came for him. It came from a foreign country that he had never heard of. Never heard of this country. But it came from his grandparents, and it was addressed to him. And he got all excited about the package. And he opened the package, and there was Jackie. And he started to call him Jackie. That's Jackie. Now, it doesn't look like an angel, right? But to him, his imaginary person, or whatever you would refer to it, he called Jackie. This came from his grandparents, my grandparents, in Ireland, and I continued to call it Jackie. It comforted me. That's what angels are about. Now, if I fly up in the air and start to go around the room, you're probably either going to run out of the room or say that I'm possessed. Yet, I'm not here to prove to you that angels exist. Yet, if you've ever had an experience with them, you would know that they do exist. We're going to jump ahead 40 some odd years. Me. Totally overwhelmed with life. Totally. Some of you know this, some of you don't. And I attempted suicide. Now, who is there to save me? I'm in Manhattan. I'm all alone. Jackie's not there. I can't see. I've taken an overdose of pills. I can just about walk. And yet, I get to a telephone. And here, I hear the number of a dear friend of mine that lives on Long Island. You call them synchronicities, I call them that, but guess what? My sister's on the phone talking to my wife that she doesn't know where I am, and she's afraid that I'm going to attempt suicide. But I get this phone number and I call it, and guess what? I get our dear friend who was on the phone with my sister speaking, who was on the phone with Diane speaking. And I was saved. Now, I would love to tell you that I saw this vision or this light. I can't. I didn't see that. But yet I was saved by something or someone, and to this day I truly believe that it was angels. There's something that I did way back when, and I don't know if I can do it now because my good friend took them out of the collection basket. But at the time after this, when I was working my way back and living my life and loving my life, I carried these little pins around with me. And anytime I saw anyone, can you take one of those, Lucille, right off the top? Anytime I saw someone and met them, I would hand them an angel pin. So what's this? I would know that they were having a difficult day, and I would just say it was an angel. And they took it from me. And they didn't say anything about it, they just took it. And I met some of these people many, many years later, And one of them said to me, do you know, Bill, that I met you about 5 years ago and you delivered flowers to my house on Valentine's Day for my husband. And you handed me the flowers and then you handed me an angel pin. And she said, I was totally overwhelmed with life. And she said, the flowers lifted me up, but my husband was away for a week. But the angel helped me tremendously. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And I said, well, I'm going to continue to do it. I met this wonderful woman, oh gosh, what's her name again? Joanne. I met her. All right? And this was back in the 90s, and she was teaching something called A Course in Miracles, you know? And I was going to learn about this, and I would say to her, Joe, I said, I feel like somebody put an axe between my head. I don't get it. And she said, that's okay, Billy. You'll get it eventually. Just hang in there. And then she invited me to her ordination. And I said, Joe, what are you talking about? I said, you're a woman and you're Catholic. What are you being ordained? I'm being ordained an interfaith minister. And I said, wow, that's amazing. Where? St. John the Divine. Well, I didn't know at the time, but I wanted to go. And there was somebody else there. This young lady right here in the front was in Joanne's class. I didn't know her. But the love that was present there, this is what I consider angels to be. Such a loving presence. There was a gentleman that I got to know, Rabbi Gelberman, who truly was what you would consider an earth angel. The love that came from this human being was totally, totally amazing. And I didn't even know, because Joe gave me a phone number to call, and I called that phone number and expecting to speak to a secretary, and a gentleman answered the phone. And I said, well, my name is Bill Hill. I said, and my friend is Joanne, well, Reverend Joe. And I said, she said I can call here and find out about coming to the classes. And everybody said to me, you know, you need to go for an interview, you need to speak rabbi, whatever. And he said, well, what's the situation, Bill? And I told him my situation. He said, okay, class starts in such and such a time, you're in. I was speaking to Rabbi at the time, and I didn't even know it. So again, blessings, angels, whatever you want to call it. At the same time, guys, I'm opening a store called Angels in My Pocket, where I sold everything angels. And I did meditation, and I did classes, and I learned about all these different things, about these amazing beings. Again, I can't prove it to you. I can't show it to you. I could only be the example of the love that I'm about and how I've been touched by these beings. Now, somebody would say to me, you know, Bill, attempted suicide. What the hell's the matter with you? Nothing. A lot of us feel overwhelmed in life. Thank goodness there aren't a lot of this that goes on. But I just did a walk a week ago, out of the darkness. A very good friend of Diane's over the summer took her own life. It's sad. You don't know until you're walking in their shoes or their sandals what they're going through. I always post on Facebook, if you're not my friend, look me up, Bill Hill, and you'll see 2 black labs on my cover page. I always post about love. That's what I am about. That's what the angels are about. Now, we have some wonderful little children coming in here soon. When I had the store on NASA Boulevard, I did meditation for children. They would come and we would talk about angels. And they would teach me more than I ever knew because of their intuitiveness, their beliefs, their imaginations. Remember when you imagine stuff, guys? Remember when you could play with a doll? With a doll. Whatever you played with. And you had an imagination. And you could see things that other people couldn't see. Going back a little bit, I have a daughter that's going to be 46 years old. She had an imaginary friend called Tiger. Tiger slept in the bathtub. When we had supper at night, we set a place for Tiger. Now, at the time, I didn't know who Tiger was, but I believed in my daughter and I loved her to pieces. And eventually, she had Ricky the raccoon, which was her stuffed imaginary raccoon to hang out with. So again, whatever works for you, whatever brings you comfort. Earth angel, there's a lot of them right here in this room. A lot of you do a lot of angelic things here today. So you are amazing, and you are loved. Everybody okay? One last thing. And Randy said it before, and I'm going to bring it up again. This is a place of worship. This is a place that we come together to love. And there are millions of these places all over the universe. And there are millions of us that are coming together to love. And there's only one person that comes together to destroy. He's not about us. And most certainly it's easy for me to say because I didn't have family in Pittsburgh. But not only am I praying for the families and the loved ones of all of us, but I'm praying for that individual also, that he might be able to see the light and he might be able to love also. I don't know about what he's about. I don't want to know about what he's about. I pray for him, just like I pray for anyone else. So, if it fits, fine. Again, we're going to have those little beauties coming in. Getting back to the children, one last thing. I said, does anybody know who their angel's name is? And you'll hear this. I've told this story many times to anybody that comes to an angel presentation of mine. And a little girl raised her hand. She was 9 years old. I know who my angel is. And I said, oh, wow. So she said, I can taste her. I said, wow, I got to listen to this. Now, all the kids perked up how she could taste her angel, right? They want to know how to do this, right? So she said, my angel is my grandma. And she said, when my grandma was alive, she allowed me to put her jewelry on and her makeup. And she had a favorite lipstick. And she would allow me to put on that lipstick. And now when I get lonely and I feel all by myself, I can taste my angel, I can taste that lipstick, and I know my grandma's with me. So whether it be an angelic being that God created, or it be you, or grandma, or somebody else, okay? Wait a minute, we got an angel calling, hold on. Okay, no, not important? No, okay. That's what it's about. That's what they're about. They're about love, and I love you, truly, and I love you, truly. And God bless each and every one of you.